let's just jump right into it. Give us a refresher on USD coin. What is it and how does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So USDC is something that we started working on in 2017 and then launched in 2018. USDC was sort of envisioned to be what I like to call like a protocol layer for money on the internet. And when I think about money, obviously there's like crypto money like Bitcoin and Ether. And then you have sort of quote unquote traditional money, which is essentially like liabilities of a central bank. So how can we take like liabilities of a central bank, represent those as a digital currency, and then let them transact in the same way that you can transact other cryptocurrencies through a protocol for kind of payment and settlement on a blockchain. So USDC very much conceived of that, and ultimately with the idea that it could be a protocol that lots of people could connect to, anyone could implement, whether you're a consumer product, a business, a wallet, what have you. But when we designed it, we wanted it to be something that was regulated, because if people are going to really depend on this as a dollar, a sort of a digital currency dollar, it needs to have the assurances of being, issued by a regulated financial institution, have, the sort of compliance and security and audit and all the things that kind of go along with that, so that people understand that for every dollar that is issued in a digital token, that those are reserved, and that there's oversight of that. There's, global accounting firms, there's examiners, regulators, there's banks that are regulated that look at and manage those reserves. So it's sort of it is a trusted model. It is not fully a trustless model, but it's a trusted model for dollar digital currency. So, essentially a person or a business, could, or a business can say, go to a Circle, open an account, and essentially convert from, a bank transfer into USDC. They can have USDC issued, and they can also redeem. We also, work really closely with Coinbase as a critical partner in this. And so you can also kind of go to Coinbase and create and redeem USDC as well. So it's, that's what USDC is. It's grown enormously. It's like a year ago, it's like 500 million in circulation. Today, there's 13.2 billion in circulation. So growing at a pretty amazing rate, and thousands of companies kind of supporting and implementing it today.
Where's all the growth coming from? Like, why has it grown so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, we really started to see this tremendous growth really dating back to right around kind of when the pandemic hit in Asia, first started hitting in Asia last year. And then it picked up as the pandemic spread. And I think part of this was just in general, a shift into digital currency that started to take place, both as a store of value, as a form of investment capital, and we saw demand globally. So we saw demand for these sort of dollar digital currency units from Latin America, Africa, Asia, other places. So just in general, that started to grow as digital asset markets themselves have grown. USDC has sort of become synonymous with being sort of the dollar market infrastructure, sort of a trusted, liquid, redeemable dollar market infrastructure for that space. And so just in line with the growth in digital asset markets. And then really notably, we very early on, even back in 2018, when we were launching this, we focused a lot of energy on working with emerging projects that were building decentralized finance and DeFi protocols, and started to see traction with those in 2019. And then, just as those have taken off, over the last year, USDC has sort of grown significantly alongside it. So when you look at the compounds and the Aves and the Uniswaps and those kinds of platforms, USDC plays a huge role in those as well. So we've grown with that. And then the last piece is basically, as this, as USDC grows in circulation and more individuals or businesses hold it, they're basically seeing that it has really incredible utility value. You can settle a transaction, in minutes with settlement finality. I mean, a lot of the same assurances that you get from like a Bitcoin transaction, you get with a dollar transaction. And people who understand like the power of cryptocurrency are like, this is just a better way to settle transactions. And so we're seeing just a lot of growth in various payments and settlement use cases. Even, recently Visa itself, building USDC natively into Visa's core network as a currency and as a settlement rail for their network, which is really amazing. So it's sort of moving into these other spaces, and obviously that's a big part of the vision for where it goes.
One of the most popular questions that I get whenever I bring up USDC is just how the hell does Circle make money? Explain kind of the way that you interact with this, the work you guys do obviously to support it, but then also how you make money.
Yeah. So, I mean, Circle has a few different revenue streams, basically. So obviously we kind of operate the USDC market infrastructure, and we basically provide that almost like a public utility. And so, like, a business, an institution can enroll in a Circle account. We only service businesses directly, and can, at no cost, basically create and redeem USDC. We administer it, we run it, et cetera. And obviously, as part of that, as a regulated financial services company, we also manage those reserves, that 13.2 billion in reserves. And so there is some revenue that comes from that. And then the second is we launched, really starting last spring, a whole family of kind of transaction and treasury infrastructure services that were built up around it. So basically providing all of the APIs that a company would need to connect the existing bank networks, like bank transfers, wire transfers, credit cards, debit cards, and wire that right into USDC settlement. The infrastructure for wallets and custody and storage for people who want to use that within their own treasury operation, whether it's a B2B or B2C product, and that kind of collection of platform services is a very big revenue driver for the company, as lots and lots of companies are building on this, and they essentially need that kind of financial infrastructure for their own products and services. So that's a big revenue driver for us. And then we have some new revenue streams that we're launching, but we also operate the largest equity crowdfunding platform in the United States, which is Seed Invest, which is a pretty significant revenue driver for us too.